Journaling is an essential part of every profitable trader's routine, and for the longest time I personally just used customized Google Sheets. But as you guys may know, there has been a platform created by a trader from the community, Umar Ashraf. He's an amazing trader. He's an options trader. He's been trading for a very long time now, and he's worked on developing this platform which basically is fine-tuned for traders, and it provides a lot of things. So we're gonna go over it. We're gonna go over the pricing, whether I think it's worth it, all the features and all that good stuff. So let's get right into it. TradeZella has two different subscription plans, so you can either be on the monthly plan or you can pay yearly. And obviously, to incentivize you to stay on the platform, they're going to give you a huge discount if you go with the yearly. But let's talk about the monthly real quick. So the monthly is $49 a month, and you can see that includes a trading journal, the detailed reporting, the 24/7 customer support, the multi-markets, the education, and the community. And you can see a little bit here of like all the stuff that's included. I'm going to be dissecting this and seeing if it's worth it to pay $49 a month. But if you have it over to yearly, you can see that you get a pretty nice discount here, and it turns out to be about $33 a month, which is a lot better than the $49 a month. So I think if you are going to be using this, might as well go with the yearly, because you are going to be saving a lot and it's going to make it a lot more affordable. But let's start getting into some of the features that come with this and talk a little bit more in depth about that. So we're just going to use this right here to look at all the features available. Get unlimited trade imports, so even if you're taking 100 trades a day, you'll be able to import them with no problem. I've imported thousands of trades into TradeZella before, and I haven't had many issues with it. It's able to import trades relatively fast. And quickly, I just want to talk about the importing process. So over here, if you go to, actually signed into the TradeZella platform, if you want to import trades, you just go over here. You can either do it this way, where you can do it manually, or you can do a CSV file, which basically you get that from your broker. For example, I use Webull, so you just go over to Webull, head over to the orders widget, and then if you click on the settings thing, it should pop up something that says export your trades. It'll send you an email with the CSV file. You just download that real quick and you come over here to import it. It is a bit annoying because it doesn't do it for you automatically, and that's just a problem with the fact that Webull doesn't, I don't know, I'm not exactly too sure what it is, but they just don't provide that to where you can directly link your broker to the platform. So you do have to do it manually at the end of every trading day, but it'll take you like a minute max. You just email it to yourself, quickly log into your Gmail, download the thing, and import it. Doesn't take too long. It's a bit annoying, but I don't think it's bad enough to where it makes it not worth it, right? If you're gonna be using any other kind of trading journal like a Google Sheets, you have to manually import every single trade. So this is definitely gonna save you some time there, and that alone might make it worth it for you, the monthly payment. And they have a lot of brokers here, so you can see they have E-Trade. Never heard of this one before, but it's generic interactive brokers, Lightspeed, Ninja Trader, a lot of popular ones here: Questrade, Tastyworks, Thinkorswim, TradeStation, TradeZero, Trade08. So you could even do futures here. Webull. As far as what markets they cover, I know they do futures, they do options, they do stocks, obviously equity, and not sure about anything else. So but for those three, you're definitely covered. I know 100% sure that's a fact. So yeah, and most of these brokers like Thinkorswim, you could directly link it, so you don't have to be importing the CSV file. Just for a couple of the brokers like Webull, you do have to come over here and import those trades like that using the CSV file. But like I said, it's pretty simple to do, and it's just basically annoying. That's about it. But apart from that little nitpick, no issues with the trading imports. You can have up to 5 different trading accounts. So you can see here you can add more accounts. You could also view it, so you have all accounts viewable, and that's just a thing you can use if you have different brokers set up. Maybe you have a swing trading account, a day trading account, a more risky account, and stuff like that, and you want to kind of separate it. That way when you go over here to the reports and stats, it skews the data. You don't want that to happen, so it's nice that you can have up to 5 different trading accounts. So that's pretty good. Then heading over to the actual journaling stuff that you can do with your trades. First of all, you get that calendar view, which looks like this right here. You get an overview of your month. You can see what days you were green, and it just basically gives you a big snapshot, how many trades you took that day, and you can kind of see a trend. So on your green days, maybe you're only taking 3 days, and then you notice on your red days you have 10 trades, and you're okay, obviously there's an issue with overtrading, and that's causing me to turn green days into red days, or just lose more than I should on those red days. So just as like an overall overview, pretty basic stuff. Then when you're actually going into journaling your trades, you're able to add tags to it. So these are the 3 different tags you can add here. You can add a setups tag, so what kind of setup was it, and there's a lot of like pre-installed, or not pre-installed, but like options you have here. But you can also add your own, so you can say like daily breakout, for example, opening, range break, and all that good stuff. So you basically just add the setup here, and this is really important because later on when you go over to the reports, you can see basically your performance based on each setup, which a lot of times you guys ask me like, how do you know if a setup is an A+? Well, you can tag your setups and then go over to reports and see which setups are performing better, which setups work better based on what type of market behavior you're getting that day, and all that good stuff. There's a lot of detailed and really important stuff over there in reports, which we'll get into later in the video. But yeah, really important to tag your trades and the setup. And let's say you enter a trade and there's no setup, you can also say, you know, I didn't have a setup, no setup, and then you'll get the stats for whenever you take trades that have no setup, and you'll see how much money you're losing because of doing that kind of stuff. Then you can add mistakes like chased, did not cut losses quickly, FOMO, not in plan, over trading, revenge trading, bored, no volume, right on the day, all that kind of stuff. You want to make sure you're adding the mistakes, that way you can see what type of mistakes you're constantly repeating. Then you just have a custom one where you could just add whatever other details you have, and then you can also add a chart or image. For example, if you want to import a chart that you have like that you annotated on TradingView or something like that, you can add that here. Then if you head over to the bottom, you could even have like some notes on the trade, so dynamic charts. So they actually do provide a chart here with your execution, so you can view your executions. You can also customize this. I don't necessarily like the white. Can change the color here just like you would like on TradingView. So yeah, that looks much better there. So you can customize the background and all that good stuff and make it look a lot better, or whatever your preferences are, and you can see your executions on there. Then obviously you have the drawing tools. You can still draw on the tools, the indicators and studies, and then you have the risk reward calculation, which is really important. So if you go over here and you can put in what your stop loss was. Now you got to put in what your stop loss was on the contract, so like the value of the contract, and then it'll calculate what you were risking on the trade, and then based on what you made on the trade, you can get your realized R multiple, your risk per trade, which we just talked about, your net return on investment per trade, your running P&L, which is, I think is actually pretty cool. So if you scroll down here, you can see your running P&L, so you get to see your live P&L while you were in the trade, and you can see, you know, whether you sold at the top, you sold at the bottom, how much drawdown you took on during the trade. So like if this trade initially went against me, you know, I could see that, and I think that's really cool stuff right there. You can track your mistakes like we talked about earlier with the tags and all that, and setup tracking. Again, we talked about that when we were covering the tags. So as you can see here, you can have different folders. So you can have like a daily journal, sessions recap, my notes, and these are basically just notes I think are pre-added here. And then you can just type out stuff like things I did good, things, and then you could just bullet point things only took A setups, followed game plan, solid risk reward. Then you could say things I did bad, gave back profits end of day to over trading, etc. So really cool stuff there. And you can also like divide it by months, like if you want to do a monthly journal, stuff like that. Really cool stuff there. So you have a dedicated notebook added to the software. Alright, and then really quickly I'm gonna skip over the insights and head over to the final 2 sections here, because I think this is the biggest section here. The insights, probably the most important one, and basically what makes TradeZella worth it in my opinion. But if we head down here, you can obviously, we have the simulator, which is a recently updated feature that they added. We're gonna go over that real quick, but before that, let's talk about the education. So they do have like a little community here. He does weekly webinars. I'm not sure exactly if they're weekly. I have seen him occasionally come on there and do like webinars and stuff like that. He goes over the platform itself, but he also does like trading specific topics, like they're like more educational type of videos, and they're always adding to this. So that's some cool stuff. So you can head over here to Zella University walkthroughs, where he goes over the platform, trading for success. He goes over risk management, notebook recap, so he shows you exactly how to use the platform. And then there's also like boot camps and stuff. You can see this one's 2 hours 53 minutes, so tons and tons of content there for you guys to digest and learn from. There's just a whole bunch of stuff here. So yeah, you can go over to Zella University and check all that stuff out, and that's included with the platform, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so the trade replay is a feature that's not out yet, so it's just I think it's currently in beta and it's slowly starting to get rolled out to certain members, so it's not yet available, so I could show you guys like exactly how it works. However, we do have this screenshot here which gives us a general idea of how it will work. You actually get to see the time and sales and like the bid and the ask that was available during that trade. So if you want to learn how to read tape, you can go ahead and do that. You can see here, like, you can also, you know, check those off if you don't want those to appear. Then it looks like you get 2 different charts, so you could probably do like different time frames. So if you want to keep one on the daily time frame and then have one like be on the 1 minute or 3 minute, something like that, you could do that as well, I believe, which is pretty cool. But that's about it that we know so far about the trade replay. However, I do think it's very cool that they're coming out with this, and it's like you're able to get more screen time without the market having to be live. So on the weekend, you know, when the markets are closed, you can still get that practice in by replaying your trades. So for now, I won't take into consideration to the pricing, but it is coming soon, and when it does, I'll make a follow-up video, like I said, to go thoroughly through it and show you guys how it works. But let's actually head over to the reports area, which I think is this provides probably the most value here. So you just get an overview. Since I only have a couple days here, I don't have, like, you know, the different data for each month, but you'll be given your best month, your lowest month, your average per month, your total P&L. You get to see your average daily volume, how many contracts or shares you're trading per day, your average winning trade, your average losing trade. Typically you want this to be bigger than your losing trade. Total number of trades, your number of winning trades, number of losing trades, all that kind of basic stuff. Then you also get some interesting stats here in terms of your average hold time. So the average hold time for all my trades is 4 hours, but you look at the discrepancy between my winning trades and my losing trades. My winning trades tend to be really fast, 7 minutes, but my average hold time for my losing trades is 8 hours. So it's probably like a swing trade. I'm not sure why it's that high actually, but you notice discrepancies like that. You can see, okay, typically if I'm right, I'm going to be right pretty fast. And then if I have a trade and it becomes a loser, it's probably because I wasn't accepting the loss and I wanted to hold it to try and hope for it to eventually turn green, which doesn't tend to happen, and that results in this. So pretty cool stuff there. And obviously, as you have a lot more data here, you'll get more accurate results because you'll have a bigger sample size. Your average trade P&L, your profit factor. This is pretty important here. A good profit factor is typically anything above 2, and if it's above 3, that's really good, and anything like really above that, like 4 or 5, is extremely good, but probably an outlier-ish results, and you're gonna need more data to really confirm that. But yeah, anything above 2 is pretty solid there. If you have any open trades, that will show up here. Total trading days, winning days, break-even days, all that stuff. Max consecutive winning days, your average daily P&L. Okay, this is really important stuff here. So your average winning day P&L, how much are you winning on winning days, and then compare that to your average losing day P&L. So again, because I don't have that much data imported here, it's not giving me a result because it's only 2 days, I think, and those 2 days were green. But that's going to be really important to see, and you're going to want your average winning day P&L to be higher than your average losing day P&L, because you never want to dig yourself into a hole that's so big that you can't come back from it, because just mentally it's like a big barrier to cross. So for example, if on an average green day you're averaging $200, but then on your average losing day you lose $1,000, it's not necessarily the $1,000 you lost, but the mental battle to come back from that is going to be the hardest part of that, because then that means it's going to take you about 5 green days to make that back, and that's just like such a daunting task to do. So you don't want that to be the case. You want it to be the case where they're at worst, you know, pretty similar, and maybe the average losing day is a little bit bigger, but it shouldn't be like to the point where it takes you 3 green days to make up 1 losing day. So that's pretty important stuff right there. Your largest profitable day, your largest losing day, and then here you just get more charts and stuff to get an overview of your daily P&L there. And if we head over to detailed, here's where it gets interesting, because you can actually start applying filters. So you can see your trade distribution by day of the week. So what days are you performing best? Sometimes I've noticed that I tend to perform really well on Monday, but then if I have a really outperforming Monday, I'll tend to give those profits back towards the end of the week. So Thursday, Friday will tend to be red for me if I have a really good Monday. I don't know what the case is, but just because, you know, I tend to feel like I have a cushion for the week, so then I start getting a bit aggressive or taking setups that aren't necessarily A+, So I started giving myself more more leeway, which results in taking worse trades and usually giving back some of that on towards the end of the week. That could also be like a focusing, like you come back on Monday from not having traded for 2 days, so you're kind of focused, and then towards the end of the week you might start wavering. So that might be a thing that I need to change, where I only trade the first 4 days and then I get myself Friday off so I can fully reset and not give back those profits. So just cool stuff to see there. And then you get more details down here. You could also do this by weeks, by months, by time. So this is actually pretty interesting as well. So like if you're doing really good early in the day, you'll be able to see that, or if you're getting back profits towards the end of the day, you'll be able to see that. Trade duration, this is another really cool one. So how fast are you in and out, and which trades are better for you. So in this case, trades that are about 5 to 10 minutes are my best sweet spot, and then trades that are under that tend to be red trades. So again, a lot of cool data here. I'm not going to go through every single thing. If you guys want me to make a dedicated video where I go through every single thing, I will do that, but I don't want to make this video too long. But you guys can just see here, there's so many stuff here. The more interesting part comes here with the setups as well. So if you actually go ahead and go to your trade log and you go through your trades and tag them and stuff, this is where it gets really interesting in my opinion. So here you can see the 3 different setups I've inputted. Demand zone, so taking trades off of demand zone, inverse H, and opening range breaks. So you can see how many times you've taken each setup, and then your results with that. So demand zone trades haven't worked out too well for me. Again, super limited data, so I wouldn't put too much importance on this. But once you do have like 50, 100 trades inputted, you'll get a lot more accurate results. You want to have, I would say you want to have at least 10 per setup, you know, as a general sample size, if not more. Obviously the more the better, but at least 10 I would say, and then you could start looking at those results. But you don't want to have like just 1 or 2, because it could be outliers. Then you could also see the mistakes you're making too often, so which mistakes are being the most costly to you. In my case, being greedy is costing me $2,000, so definitely need to work on that. And then just your other tags will show up here as well. And then we still have a lot more to go through here. So again, I'm not going to go super in detail because there's just so much to go through. And if you guys want me to do a detailed video on that, I will. But for now, I'll just show you guys what's available here. Kind of the stuff you'll get. This is another really interesting one. So market movement. So based on how basically SPY reacted on that day, if it was like a negative 1% day, you'll see how you perform that day. So I think this is really interesting stuff. You could also change it to market opening gap. So if we had a gap up, or if we opened up flat, based on the data I have, we opened up flat both days. But I think that's some really interesting data that you can apply to your trading there. So those are the reports for you guys, and that's all TradeZella has to offer. So now let's go back to the original question: is TradeZella worth it? In my opinion, it 100% is definitely worth it. I mean, again, if you go with the yearly plan, it comes out to about $33 a month, which I think is extremely great price for everything you're getting here. Especially once that trading replay feature comes out, I think that'll definitely add to the value a lot and make it well worth your money. And just to make it clear, I'm not sponsored by TradeZella or anything like that. I'm just a user that's personally benefited from using the platform, and I've been with them for a couple months now. And at the end of the day, you know, trading is a business, and it's like any business, you have to invest in it to get something out of it. And something like this, which is like super crucial to traders, journaling their trades, and really that's like the best way to improve as a trader, because most of it is learning by trial and error, and the best way to speed up that process is to actually go back and analyze your trades so you can see what you're doing wrong. Because if you're not journaling and actively looking back on your trades and what you're doing right and wrong, it'll be hard to adjust stuff, because you'll just keep repeating the same mistakes and not really capitalizing on what you're good at. And so something like this really helps you see those things and start applying them to your trading. And if you're making the same mistake over and over, you'll clearly be able to see it using something like this. So I definitely do think it's really well worth it, especially when you think of the possibilities with trading. You can literally cover the yearly expense for this with one trade once you get up there in size and consistency. So in my opinion, like I said, it's well worth it. If you guys want to see me make that video once the live trading replay feature comes out. And if you guys want me to go more in depth into the reports and how you guys can utilize that, let me know, and I will be doing that in the future. But other than that, I'll leave you guys there. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. It's been me, Zero, and I'm out. Peace.